Sanji's latest power-up has sparked a lot of controversy in the community. As the leader of the Seeker no Mi, his ability to be used as a hype tool has risen to new heights. Nah, I'm just kidding. You guys know what it is. It's a fresh start to a fresh year, 2024. So why not kick off the new year by talking about everybody's favorite chef in anime, Vinsmoku Sanji. Some people would have you believe that 2024 is the year to sell your Sanji stocks. But how valid are those claims? Let's find out. Real quick before we get into the video, guys, remember to like and subscribe for more One Piece content. If you have an opinion, leave a comment. I understand things can get a little spicy, but at the end of the day, we're all rocking with this manga. So let's have a good time discussing something that we love. Don't forget to follow my Twitch as well, where we're streaming gameplay and discussions, and remember to join the Discord and follow me on Twitter. I'd love to hear from you guys. So, Sanji, a character that tends to be heavily underestimated and heavily underrated by the greater community. Even after his exoskeleton's enhancements, he still seems to not get the respect that he's due. The fact of the matter is, when stacked up against characters that should be relative to him, he does seemingly fall behind in several categories. He has neither form of advanced haki that we're aware of, nor does he have basic Conqueror's haki. On paper, he doesn't seem to have what it takes to match up against characters like King and Katakuri, but underestimating our chef may prove to be a fatal mistake. Let's start off with Sanji's pure physical prowess. This may not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think about it, but let me assure you, Sanji's no slouch in this department. Before we even get into the crazier stuff, let's start with some pre-exoskeleton feats that some of y'all like you forgot. Our first case actually comes from Fishman Island, when Sanji leaves his bubble to attack the Kraken. Now I know what you're thinking, there's nothing special. We know that Sanji is able to move as fast as Fishman on the water, yada yada yada. But what you don't realize about this feat is Sanji's pre-exoskeleton insane ability to withstand the water pressure. But you didn't think I'd go there. I'm about to drop some science on y'all. Sanji's pre-exoskeleton durability is often something that's clowned on, but it's actually pretty impressive when you take a deeper look beyond the surface level. Being on the seafloor without any protection from the pressure is no small feat. Bearing in mind, Sanji's body was withstanding a pressure of 15,750 psi. To put this into perspective, that's roughly 120 school buses parked on your chest weighing about 18,000 pounds each. Easily enough to crush a human body. Too scientific? Well, let's have a look at some One Piece specific concepts, starting with his haki. Despite lacking any advanced application of arm and haki, Sanji has actually displayed pretty solid arm and haki feats. Let's start with something low-key slept on, stopping blades. We see Sanji do this in multiple instances, once against Judge and once against Daifuku, the former being relative to a lower commander level character, Snack. On both occasions, Sanji is able to handle bladed attacks without sustaining significant injuries. This is impressive because we see other, more capable characters being unable to accomplish this same feat. Notable mentions being Luffy and Doflamingo. Luffy and Doflamingo on Fraud Watch? Not really. It is, however, a good look for Sanji when Luffy failed to stop Hordy Jones' bite with his own armor and haki. Things look even better when you realize that Doflamingo failed to stop Law's sword that wasn't even imbued with haki while using his own hardening. Durability withstanding, let's start getting into some strength feats. Once again, guys, keep in mind this is pre-exoskeleton. I promise we'll crack open that can soon. What better place to push the agenda than with this most recent fight with Queen? Before unlocking these mutations, Sanji was kicking this massive Brachiosaurus around like he was nothing, literally causing collateral damage to other characters like Perospero just because the strength in his kick was that potent. Queen in his full Zoan form is massive. A Brachiosaurus is a creature that was estimated to weigh about 100,000 pounds. That's 50 tons, flying across the battlefield because of a singular kick. Not to mention he shattered Queen's teeth in the process. If the agenda that Sanji was weak pre-modification wasn't dead already, it should be now. But guys, enough about pre-exoskeleton Sanji. All the prep work is done, it's time to cook. Now you guys already know that the German modifications made Sanji's pretty insane, but it's easy to overlook just how insane they made him. It's easy to equate Sanji's boots to the same level that was shown with his German siblings, but what a lot of people fail to realize is that Sanji was already naturally far above his siblings. So it stands to reason that his modifications would elevate him to an even more insane degree. If you guys would like a video explaining why Sanji was far above Germa, let me know in the comments, but that ain't what we're here for. Like Arby's, guys, we have the feats. First off, we've gone from kicking 50 tons across a battlefield to kicking 50 tons clear of an island, damn near in the orbit if we're honest. That's pretty insane by itself, but guys, it gets even crazier. Later on in Egghead, Sanji matches up against S-Shark, you know, the character that was strictly created to be an upgrade over Jinbei. While these Seraphim are not mature yet, you'd be hard pressed to say they aren't damn impressive. S-Shark was able to pressure Blackbeard, a man who I'm sure needs no introduction. These Seraphim are no joke, guys, so when we see even Luffy and Zoro struggling to handle these guys with help from CP0, we can pretty safely assume that these guys are legit. Sanji not only has had the best showing against the Seraphim Egghead, but it's not even close. He seemingly causes legitimate damage to S Shark with just his base kick. Keep in mind that S Shark on paper should be one of the more impressive Seraphim. Fishmen are naturally 10 times stronger than humans. Couple that with Jinbei's natural durability thanks to his shark skin and Lunarian DNA, and you can quickly start to see why this is more impressive than it originally seems. So we've already established that his strength has been cranked to 11, but what about his speed? We've always known him to be a bit of a speedster, but you'd be hard pressed to have a Sanji discussion without mentioning his speed. Even before his enhancements, he was already perception blitzing lower commander level characters like Oven. Once the curly bar was flipped, it got even crazier. Going back to the Queen fight for a moment, we know he was able to use all of German's abilities. We have to highlight this fact because that means that Queen has access to Niji's speed, specifically the speed of Henry Blazer and his light speed sword. Queen isn't the first character that comes to mind when you think of speed, but the fact that he has access to this makes him quite underrated in this department. Despite this, Sanji was still able to blitz Queen to the point to where he thought he was invisible multiple times. And the crazy thing is, guys, this isn't even Sanji's best speed feat. For that, we had to turn to Egghead where he outsped a laser as it was being fired, saved one of the Vegapunks, and appeared behind Zoro before anyone even realized he was gone. Moving on from his speed, Sanji's exoskeleton durability is something that I'm only going to touch lightly on, just a sprinkle of spice if you will. Without using any haki whatsoever, we see that he's comfortably able to tank blades, bullets, and even S Shark's punch without even flinching. It's worth noting that this is the very low end of Sanji's newfound durability, and he's already cleared his previous feats by a mile. It wouldn't be a stretch to say that his max durability may even be comparable to Lunarian's if his floor is already this high. Now I'm sure some of you have picked up on the fact that we haven't even mentioned Diablo Jambe yet, and that's because I wanted to emphasize just how crazy Sanji is without it. Things get pretty nasty in the offense category when you apply Diablo Jambe. If the modifications alone crank Sanji to 11, this cranks him to 20, completely breaking the scale. As we know, it not only acts as a straight up attack power and potency buff, but it also buffs his speed to even crazier levels. And something that doesn't get talked about enough is Sanji's ability to inflict internal damage even without using advanced arm and haki. This is first demonstrated on Jabra when Sanji connects with his first Diablo Jambe kick, where he explains that he feels like his insides are melting. Something to note here is that he was using Tekkai, and with recent information, we can view the 6 powers as something of a precursor to haki. It would even be fair to say that the 6 powers were retconned into being haki, so with this in mind, it isn't a reach to say that it interacts with haki the same way. Now guys, if Diablo Jambe kicked things up to a 20, then Ifrit Jambe takes it to 100. As we know, Blue Flames is already a massive upgrade to the potency of Diablo Jambe. If Sanji was already causing insane amounts of internal heat damage, now he's completely cooking foods with it. Not only does the temperature drastically increase, but his speed gets yet another amp on top of it. We're reaching a point to where you're as close to top tier offense as you can get without having Conqueror's Coding. If Sanji ever gets Conqueror's Coding, you'd be hard pressed to put any commander level character even close to him. And yes, that even goes for Yamato. With all that said guys, the outlook for Sanji in 2024 is burning pretty bright. We've got a long year ahead of us, and we're in the climax of one of the most exciting arcs in the series thus far. While Sanji might not be a bona fide top tier at the moment, he's certainly no slouch, but I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. We're still gonna meme him. We're gonna meme every character. Agenda Piece is the gift that keeps on giving, so let's enjoy the memes, laugh, and just have a good time with it. That's gonna do it for this one guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and follow my socials in the links below. We'll chop it up next time. Deuces.